It is hard to imagine now, but the United States once paid farmers to plant kudzu. Today, an unstoppable vine chokes forests across 7 million acres, drains up to $500 million from the economy, and is listed among the worst ideas of the 20th century. Yet in Japan and China, this same plant is food, medicine, even a luxury ingredient, fetching more than $100 a pound. Why did America turn a prized Asian staple into a botanical villain? And what really triggered one of the most costly ecological reversals in U.S. history? The answer starts with a single exhibition, a government gamble, and a paradox that is still growing. No plant in American history has ever spread quite like kudzu. This vine can grow a foot in a single day, stretching up to 60 feet each season, fast enough to swallow entire trees, houses, and power lines before anyone can react. Today, estimates put its grip at anywhere from 2 to 7 million acres across the South, with the true number growing each year. The financial toll is staggering. Annual losses from smothered timber, ruined farmland, and endless utility repairs reach as high as $500 million. Power companies alone spend over $1 million a year just to keep lines clear. In the eyes of Time magazine, kudzu ranks among the worst ideas of the last century, a government-backed project gone spectacularly wrong. What began as a promise of prosperity has become an unstoppable burden, creeping further with every summer. In 1876, the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia dazzled Americans with marvels from around the world. Among the curiosities in Japan's pavilion, a climbing vine with sweet-scented blooms caught the attention of visitors and horticulturalists alike. Kudzu, with its lush leaves and rapid growth, was first admired as an exotic ornamental, something to soften porches and shade southern verandas. The fascination did not end at the fairgrounds. Charles and Lily Pleas, a Florida couple with a keen eye for opportunity, acquired kudzu seeds and began cultivating them on their Chipley nursery. They were not just growing a novelty, they packaged and sold kudzu by mail, promising a fast-growing solution for shade and livestock feed. Today, a historical marker stands in Chipley, quietly honoring the Pleas family's role in transforming a fairground spectacle into a southern staple. What began as a botanical import soon found its way into fields and farms across the region, setting the stage for a government-backed boom. By the mid-1930s, the United States had thrown its weight behind kudzu with a fervor rarely seen for any plant. The 1936 Federal Register listed kudzu as a soil-building crop, unlocking federal subsidies for farmers, $8 an acre, a tempting offer during the lean Dust Bowl years. Over 70 million seedlings were churned out by government nurseries and handed off to the Civilian Conservation Corps and the Soil Conservation Service, who fanned out across the South, planting rows of kudzu to hold back eroding hillsides. Channing Cope, a Georgia journalist and radio host, took the campaign further and founded the Kudzu Club of America. At its height, the club claimed 20,000 members, staged planting contests, and crowned kudzu queens. By 1948, Georgia alone had nearly 500,000 acres under vine, but jubilation soured. By 1953, USDA quietly dropped kudzu from its list of recommended crops. State after state declared it a weed. In 1997, it landed on the federal noxious weed list, sealing its fate as a botanical blunder. USDA scientists spent 18 years testing herbicides, and some treatments only made the vines grow back thicker. For the South, the miracle cure had become a permanent headache, and the government found itself paying to undo what it once so eagerly encouraged. In Japan, the story of kudzu stretches back to the earliest written records. The Kojiki, compiled in the 8th century, lists kudzu among the nation's prized native plants. For over 6,000 years, its tough fibers have been spun into kudzu fu, a rare textile once reserved for aristocrats and now woven by a handful of master artisans. Every part of the plant has a purpose. Young shoots and leaves are foraged as vegetables, the blossoms are made into jelly, and the massive roots, sometimes weighing hundreds of pounds, are slow dug to yield pure starch. In specialty markets, that starch can fetch over $100 a pound, prized for its purity and subtle flavor. In China, kudzu root has held a place on the official list of 50 fundamental herbs for centuries. Across East Asia, the plant is managed, harvested, and woven into daily life, never allowed to run wild. Here, stewardship is tradition, and abundance is an asset, not a curse. Nearly 14 centuries before kudzu tangled with southern power lines, the Chinese physician Sun Simiao praised its root for sobering the drunk and easing fevers. Modern science, it turns out, is catching up. In 2012, researchers at Harvard's McLean Hospital gave heavy drinkers a dose of kudzu extract. Beer intake dropped from 3.5 to just over 2 per session. That was a 31% cut, with no side effects. A single dose before a binge had a similar effect in a 2015 trial. The irony is hard to miss. While Channing Cope's dream ended under a blanket of vines, Harvard's data now confirm what Asian healers claimed 1,000 years ago. In America, the plant is an enemy. In the lab, it is a remedy. Kudzu's roots plunge 16 feet into the earth, storing up to 400 pounds of starch, enough to fuel its relentless climb and help it survive droughts that kill lesser crops. Its leaves fix nitrogen, enriching soils that corn or soy would strip bare. In biofuel trials, kudzu's ethanol yield matches corn acre for acre, with none of the fertilizer or irrigation. Climate models now trace its green wave north, predicting new strongholds in Illinois, New York, even Ontario by mid-century. Yet while America spends $500 million a year to fight this vine, its Asian cousins harvest, eat, and profit. Why does a plant so rich in promise remain a pariah in the one country where it grows wildest? The answer for now is tangled in history, policy, and perception. America spends millions to fight a vine others turn into medicine and food. The real invasion isn't kudzu. It's our refusal to see abundance where others see opportunity. What would happen if we did?